All right, hi guys, it's Mr. C with your Saxon Math today. We're doing lesson 104. This is algebraic addition activity. So in your homework today, you're just going to do a bunch of what I'm showing you now. You'll just practice this activity. Now the reason we do this activity is it's going to help us group numbers, and it's going to help us work with negative numbers and adding negative numbers, something that we've been working on for the last few weeks. And so this can be really helpful. We're going to use the electrical charge model to add signed numbers. All right, so here's what we've got. One model for addition of signed numbers is a number line. So that's what we've done before. We've done it over the last few weeks. Another model for the addition of signed numbers is the electrical charge model, which is used in the sign game. We haven't done this before, so we're going to try this sign game today. In this model, the signed numbers are represented by positive and negative charges that can neutralize each other when they're added. So we're going to be using opposites, right? So for example, a -4 and +4, those will neutralize each other because it's an equivalent value on opposite sides of the number line. This game is played with sketches as shown here, and the first two levels may be played with 2 color counters. Now we're just going to do the version that we have here. There are different levels of this that you can play. We're just going to start with the basic 2 levels today. So in the sign game, there's pairs of positive and negative charges that become neutral. So all we're going to do here is we're going to find the positive and negative and cross them out. Now it says you can use sound effects, so we better do that. Right? And then we're left with just these 2, and we can add those up. So our net here is 2 positives. So we're just going to say +2. That's our answer for this, whatever these are called, sketches, or I don't remember what they're called. But that's our answer is +2. All right. Now, after making the positive and negative pairs, we can count the remaining positives or negatives. So here's 3 to practice on. Some of these are easy, right? There's no positives on this, so we just add up our negatives. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our answer is -7. Here we can cross them out. We crossed them all out, so that one's just going to be 0. There's no positive or negative. And here we'll just go. And we've just got a -1 is left. Everything else canceled out. So pretty easy. This is our level 1 kind of activity for this game. And at this level, it's pretty easy. So let's take it to the next level. Okay? Here, they're going to give us positive and negative numbers, and we're going to either want to group them first if we can, or we'll just add them. So if there were only 2 numbers, 3 and -2, we would just put them together. But because there's more than one, we'll group them first. So we take our +3 and our +1, and we get our +4. We take our -5 and -2, put them together, get a -7. Then we can just put those together, and our net is -3. That's our answer. So let's try that down here. We'll put our positives together first. 5, 3, and 4. So that's 8 + 4 is +12. Then we take our negatives. -4 and -6 is -10. Add those together. +12 and -10. That just gives us a +2. Pretty easy, right? All right. On this one, we're just looking. There are no negatives, so we're just going to add. 4 + 2 is 6, +1 is 7, +3 is 10, +10. And then on here, we've got some negatives, so we'll put those together first. -5, we put our positives together, +5, -5 and +5, we put them together, our answer is 0. Okay? So this isn't much harder, but this is our level 2 version of the game, where we're taking numbers, not just signs, and putting them together. All right. So we've got clusters. Now we can represent clusters with 2 signs, 1 sign, or no sign. And clusters can appear in disguise by taking on an additional sign or dropping a sign. So it's in disguise here, right? Negative and a negative we know equals a positive. So it's in disguise by showing 2 signs instead of 1. So we can just change that disguise from -3 to a +3, and we're going to convert those first. So if we have a positive and a negative, remember they'll stay negative. If we have a negative and a positive, it goes negative. Anytime there's a plus and a minus together, it goes negative. But negative and negative equals a positive. That's a different version of that. A positive and a positive and a positive equals positive. So this is a good time to practice some of those rules about a negative and a positive equals a negative, but a negative and a negative equals a positive. All right? So here we take our disguises, and we're going to just take the disguises off. So we don't have anything on this one, so it's just going to be plus 3. This one, positive and a negative equals negative, so take the disguise off and just say negative 4. Negative and a negative equals positive, so it's going to be a plus 5 here. And a negative and a positive equals a negative, and so that's a negative 2. This is the one everyone misses. I don't know why, but a negative and a negative always equals a positive. Not just as a number, but if we were multiplying and things like that, it will still do it. So if this was like negative 1 times negative 5, it would equal positive 5. And so you just have to practice doing that. So here, we're going to see whether we can determine how many of which charge remain for the following practice screen. So let's just do this really quick. I'm going to take the disguise off, so that will be a 3. Take the disguise off, that's a negative 5, negative 6, and a positive 4. Then we put our two positives together, positive 4 and 3 equals a positive 7. Put our two negatives together, 6 and 5 equals negative 11. Put our negative 11 and 7 together, and that's going to give us a result of negative 4. Okay? These ones are a little simpler, negative 3, negative 2, and negative 4. So we just add them together. Negative 2, 4, and 2, so that's 4, 8. Negative 8 is our total. Here we'll take the disguise off, negative 6, positive 3, just 4, negative 2, and negative 6. So let's start with our negatives. 6, 6, and 2, that's 12, plus 2 is 14. And then our positives 4 and 3 is 7. So a negative 14 and 7 is going to give us a negative 7 as our answer. All right, so this is just going to help you get some good practice with positives and negatives. We can extend to level 3 now to a line of clusters without using a screen. So if we don't have that little box to do it, these could all be different numbers in the box, but you could also just put it here on a line. So this is the 3rd level. So step 1 is remove the disguises. So a positive and a negative equals just negative 4. A negative and a negative equals positive 5. Negative and a positive equals negative 2. So they're just removing the disguises, putting it together. Then we group. We take our negative 3, negative 4, and negative 2. That equals negative 9. Then we take our positive 5 and positive 6. That equals positive 11. And what remains? Negative 9 plus 11 equals positive 2. Easy peasy. All right, and that's it. We're not doing level 4 today, so we'll just get up to level 3. You can practice these on the number line if you want. All right, good luck. Have fun.